What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and we are here to make our 2025 Japanese Grand Prix predictions for here in this Japanese Grand Prix weekend. I am super excited. We are coming off of F1's first break between the Australian, Chinese, and now the Japanese Grand Prix. Our first week off of the season to let us digest what happened in the first two rounds, but F1 is back for a triple header, which starts in Japan at Suzuka, one of the greatest rounds on the Formula One calendar, in my opinion, and I, for one, can't wait to see it. We are here to make our predictions for what's going to happen this weekend. We're talking our biggest positive surprise, our biggest disappointments, our qualifying top three, our race podium, and as always, we will round things out with our one crazy prediction. This is going to be a relatively quick one. It is late, I am tired, and I'm trying to get these predictions uploaded as soon as possible because the weekend is approaching quicker than you could possibly imagine. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump on into this with our biggest positive surprise. Let's kick things off with our biggest positive surprise, and there's no beating around the bush. I am going for Fernando Alonso. That's right, the oldest driver on the grid, who has had a bit of a torrid start to the 2025 campaign with two DNFs in back-to-back weekends to begin the season. Once in Australia, where he crashed out thanks to the adverse weather conditions, and then last time out in China, where we saw him DNF due to a mechanical issue. I don't remember exactly what it is. Might have been water pump related or something along those lines. So a bit of an unfortunate start to the 2025 season. I don't think Aston Martin is too focused on 2025, but at the same time, I think it's about time we see Fernando Alonso arrive to the 2025 season, and I think it's going to begin in Japan at a classic F1 circuit. I think he's going to come out, put in a solid performance, and we're going to see Fernando Alonso get the momentum under him and get some momentum rolling here in 2025. And so Fernando Alonso, there you are, my pick for biggest positive surprise. Before we jump into our pick for biggest disappointment, if you are interested in having your predictions in these videos, as well as joining our little community predictions championship, and you can head to the link down below, join our Discord, join our little community, and each week leading up to the Grand Prix weekend, I'll make a call for these exact predictions for you to have your voice heard. And if you get them in early enough, as you saw with biggest positive surprise, you'll see along the bottom of the video, you'll see your predictions can appear in the video. So if you're interested in joining in on the fun, join the link down below, join the Discord, and let's have some fun. All right, rolling along directly into our pick for biggest disappointment. And this one is one of the ones that truly pains me to say it, mainly because I have been loving the fact that he's had such a good start to the 2025 season. I'm going with Alex Albon this weekend. We've seen him take Williams to a fantastic start here in 2025, actually tied with Ferrari in the constructors for P4. Can you believe it? Williams, who struggled to get out of last place last year, now battling Ferrari here in the constructors. I know Ferrari had a couple of disqualifications in China. That's besides the point. It has been a fantastic start for Williams. Well, we've seen Carlos Sainz struggle to get up to speed with the car. We've seen Alex really rise to the occasion and put in some absolutely fantastic performances to start the year. That said, I do think we're going to see a bit of a step back at some point for Williams and Alex, and unfortunately it pains me to say that I think it could come this weekend here in Japan. I know he's going to be riding a high, but it's going to get interesting to see if he's able to roll the momentum forward over that week-long break and continue to build upon this fantastic start he's had to the season. It pains me to say it because I've loved watching him perform, but unfortunately, Alex, you are my pick for biggest disappointment. Let's roll it on in quickly into our qualifying top three. No beating around the bush. P3 in qualifying, I have Lando Norris. Now, we've seen Lando have these opportunities in the past to both solidify pole position like we saw in Australia, but also have issues in qualifying like we did in China. I think we might see a bit of a middle ground here. I think Lando is going to be very decent, and the car definitely should suit the McLaren very well. But I think it's just might be one of those instances where we see a good performance from Lando, but not a great performance from Lando. So he slots into P3 on my list here in qualifying. Now, when it comes to P2, I am going with Charles Leclerc. I think Ferrari performed very decently around here in 2024. I think they'll be able to roll that momentum forward, and I think they're definitely going to want to get back on the horse even faster after a double disqualification in China. We know Charles has had that qualifying pace in him. I think it's about time we see him truly unlock it, and I think we see it start here this weekend in qualifying for P2 in my list. And that leaves not only pole position, it is the other papaya car of Oscar Piastri. We saw Oscar really step into the limelight when Lando struggles last time out, and I think we could see a bit of a momentum shift here as Oscar really steps to the plate in 2025 and puts in another pole position to add to his tally of his career, doubling it in fact. So very impressive stuff, Oscar, I must say. And so there we have it, guys. My pick for the top 3 in qualifying is a Lando Norris P3, a Charles Leclerc P2, and an Oscar Piastri pole position. Let's roll right along. Race podium is what we all come to see. The Japanese Grand Prix will be over at this point, which will make my heart so very sad because I love this race. I love it so much. And I think we're going to see a bit of an exciting one here, as I think it's going to be a two-man race for the win. But that's the to say we're going to skip over the bottom step of the podium, P3. Let's begin here. Lewis Hamilton here in P3. I think it's about time we see him finish on the podium for Ferrari in the first time. I think that while Charles, I think, is going to put in a fantastic qualifying performance, I think Lewis is going to want to come out, especially following his disqualification, being that plank wear. I think he's going to come out a little extra motivated, just like Charles, I agree. But we've all seen the race pace that he's been able to extract from those cars, and it's going to a circuit very similar to my Fernando Alonso prediction of going to a circuit like Suzuka, like the Japanese Grand Prix. I feel like it just unlocks a completely new, part of these guys' brains, especially these older guys like Lewis and Fernando. And I think they're going to want to come out and absolutely perform at one of the most amazing race weekends on the calendar. So there it is. Lewis Hamilton is my pick for P3 on the podium. Moving on, let's go ahead and talk about P2. I'm going with Lando Norris. I think I mentioned it before, I think Suzuka is going to suit the McLaren very, very well. And depending on the conditions that we get in the weekend, now there's a lot of rumors that it could be raining a little bit on Sunday, which I think would spice things up a lot. I think Lando's going to be able to move forward from his P3 start, at least in my predictions, and finish on the podium once again. But unfortunately, I think it will only be P2, as he'll be unable to catch down my pick for the winner of the Japanese Grand Prix, Oscar Piastri. I think this is going to be a weekend where we potentially leave asking a lot of questions about what's going to happen this year at McLaren, as I think it's pretty clear that they have the best car so far, and it's really just about who's going to step up and take the reins at McLaren and say, no, I'm winning the championship. And I think it starts this weekend with another Oscar Piastri win, backing up his win in China. And I think it's going to be a very, very interesting way to start this triple header, and so have some people start asking some very serious questions. So there we have it, guys. An Oscar Piastri win, a Lando Norris P2, and a Lewis Hamilton P3. Let's quickly round things out with our one crazy prediction. We're not going to beat around the bush. Haas came with an absolutely fire livery for the Japanese Grand Prix. It is one of those beautiful liveries I've seen in a very long time, and it makes me so happy that it's on my team's car. Oh, it's so good. I remember when they announced it. It is perfection in pretty much every single way. And so my one crazy prediction is centered around my team, the team bringing the best livery to the Japanese Grand Prix. I am predicting that Haas will leave the Japanese Grand Prix weekend in the top 5 of the constructors. They currently sit 3 points behind Ferrari and Williams in 4th and 5th, depending on how the tiebreaker, shakes out at that point. And so I think this is going to be a weekend where we'll see Haas be in the top 5 of the constructors, and depending on what happens, although in my predictions it's not necessarily happening that way, could be as high as 4th in the constructors in the weekend is all said and done. I think they figured some stuff out in China, and I'm hoping with a nice week off to really look at the data and figure things out, especially adding on the fact that it'll be team principal Ayo Komatsu's home race, as well as Toyota, now that the Toyota integration is really starting to ramp up. I think Haas can be in for a very fun weekend, and it'll be very, very, very fun to watch, and I think there's some good things ahead. Is that the Haas copium in me? Potentially. At the same time, it's a very real possibility at the same time. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section below. There we have it, guys. A nice, quick, efficient predictions video for the 2025 Japanese Grand Prix weekend. It'll be here before you know it. Let me know down in the comment section below what your predictions are for this weekend. I'd be fascinated to know what you guys think is going to happen. As always, if you made it this far, leave a like rating on the video. It really helps me out with the algorithm. And last but not least, subscribe if you haven't already. We love doing sim racing around here, and we love talking about Formula One as well. We'd love to have you join our little community. But for now, that is going to wrap it up for me here, guys. We'll be back after the weekend is over to talk about what we saw over the whole weekend, and we'll talk about everything that's on the way after this weekend is over. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.